Good afternoon, everyone. We are moving towards the last module of this course, and in this module, first we are going to see the recommenders. Recommenders are the systems we are all living with. So, if you go to any online shopping website, you'll find that uh, once you shop something or you are trying to shop something, they will give you recommendations as to what other products are related, they are similar, or based on your past history they will recommend something which you are which you may like, and many a times it strikes very well. So how do these recommenders work is the today's topic. These recommenders are nothing but supervised learning models, as we see later. In fact, they are regression models. The type of the recommenders we are looking into, they are supervised regression models. But there are these models with some twist. So we'll see what is the twist and how they differ from the regular regression models. So we already know that anybody who buys online, which all of us are doing, we always get recommendations based on our past history or based on what product we are buying. Some related products we get recommended. So this is based on two aspects. One is users. So there are millions of users for somebody like Amazon, and they similarly have millions of products. So they always have live data as to which products are liked by which users, and some more information related to that. So using this information, essentially this recommender system works, or at least the basic recommender system that we are going to learn, they work on this. I'm sure that the professional commercial sites will have much more advanced versions of this. There are two main types of recommenders. One is known as content-based recommenders, and another is known as the collaborative filtering type recommenders. The difference in them is based on what is the focus of these recommenders. The first recommender, that is a content-based recommenders, looks at the first aspect, that is you have two dimensions of the recommenders. One is there is a set of users. So all these orange color are users, and there are a set of products. So there are multiple products and there are multiple users, and in those sites the recommendation system works based on the ratings given by different users to different products. So these ratings may be explicit in terms of how many means when you buy a product you give to a certain rating to that product. So based on that they understand your likings and they build your profile. So that is one information, and second information is about the products. So product themselves have different features. So let's take one concrete example, that let's say Amazon book section. So if you are trying to buy a book, the book can be of different types. So it may be of romance, it may be fiction, it may be fantasy, and so on. So these are known as product features. And the user features are the one which are which type of books a person likes. So for example, a person X may like books which are more of a fantasy type. The person Y may like books more of action type and less of fantasy type. So in that sense, you have got some parameters related to users and some parameters related to products. The content-based recommenders, which is the first type, it works based on the features of the product. So it requires the features of the product. So given a set of books, it will require for each book what is the type of book, whether it's a fantasy book or it is an action book or it's a romance book, and so on. So that is what would be required for these books for the content based recommenders. So we'll see later how these recommenders work. And the second type of recommenders, they are known as collaborative filtering types. They focus on the user. So this term collaboration or collaborative is collaborative indication or preference given by a set of users. and the filtering indicates the selection that is given. So in both these recommenders, you require the ratings, which forms the data set. So you must require a data set which consists of different ratings. Just the collaborative type recommender systems, they focus on the user profile, and whereas the content-based recommenders focus on the profile of the products or the features of the products. So in this case, we are defining for any machine learning problem, you have features and you have labels. So in this case, the labels can be considered as those given the ratings given by the people, and the features you can consider as the features of the product. So that if we assume that way, the collaborative filtering doesn't require these features. In fact, it finds out what are the features. So it is also a different type of things. Till now, we have encountered all the models where the features were known, and we were then trying to predict the labels based on that. In this case, the collaborative filtering method differs in the sense that it, in fact, predicts the features, and for predicting along with the rating, the what is the aim of your recommender system is to predict the rating that a particular user would give to some unknown product. So if some new book is in the market, you would like to know a particular user will like it or not like it, whether to recommend that book to him or her will be based on what is the predicted rating that user would give to that particular book. So that is the aim of the recommendation system. And in the collaborative recommender system, the features of the book are not important, but the profile of the user is used to predict what rating it will give to, for a new book. And what will be the features of that new book that will be obtained by some collaborative inferences drawn from the rating given by for that book by different users. So that is the difference between the content-based recommenders and collaborative type recommenders. In general, the collaborative type recommenders are more commonly used, as we'll see later, that they are more powerful in the sense that you don't need to have information about the products. Of course, you require in the basic form information about the users, but we'll later see that that also can be inferred. So in fact, just on the basis of the ratings, the recommender collaborative recommender system can proceed and fetch both the user preferences as well as the product features. So let's take one concrete example which will make this concept more clear. So we'll start with content based recommenders. Okay, before that, just question to test what we talked till now. So I put the link for the polling form in the chat box. So we have seen two types of recommenders, content based and collaborative based, collaborative filtering type. So the first type, content based, they are based on what? Okay, so I got 4 responses, out of which 2 are okay. So having shown the responses, it moves towards the majority. Okay, so the correct answer for this is content based, they are based on the features of the product. So this is the correct answer. And user interest is related to collaborative filtering type of recommenders. So let's look into how these content based recommenders work, which require the features of the product. So here I'm taking an example of a bookshop where for the sake of simplicity, we are considering few books. So only we are considering 5 books. So the books are Romeo and Juliet and so on. And there are 5 books which are there in the shop. And the shop, again, for the simplicity, we are considering having 4 buyers or 4 users. And they are A, B, C, D, Anand, Bina, Chitra, and Dinesh. So these are the 4 users. And these users are giving their ratings on the scale 1 to 5. So this we are familiar with. So 1-star rating to 5-star rating they are giving. So Anand, Bina, you will find that they are giving high ratings to this set of books, whereas the other 2 they are giving high rating to the remaining 3 books. So as you can see, the first 3 books are of a certain type. So maybe you can call them of a more romantic type, and or rather the first 3 would be of more romantic type, and this can be one group, and this can be another group. So where we can see, for the sake of this example, I have partitioned them so that you can clearly see the difference. That is, Anand and Bina, they are preferring the more romantic book, and Chitra and Dinesh, they are preferring more of a fantasy books. But all users are not giving preference or are not giving rating to all the books. So there are some unknown things. So for example, you want to know whether Anand would like happy ever after. So whether this book, what rating Anand would give. So based on this data, intuitively we know that Anand may like it because it falls in the same category. So here we are using our intelligence that these 3 books, they are of similar type, and the users Anand and Bina are also of similar liking types. And based on that, we have done the analysis. But we need to, in order to apply the machine learning technique, we need to put in proper parametric form or mathematical form. So in order to do that, let's define some symbols which we'll use in our calculations, in our formulation. So let's say the number of users for this recommender system is NU. So NU is the number of users. NB is number of books. So here books is taken as an example. This book, it could be any product. NB represents the number of books that particular store is having. Not all users are giving rating to all books. So that means rating exists only for certain combination of user and book pair. So that is defined by this parameter Rij, whether the rating is given for pair book I and user J is defined by Rij. So if Rij is equal to 1, that means that book is having a rating, and that rating corresponds to user J. So for certain I and J pairs, so for example, here the pair 1, 1 is having the rating. So here Rij will be equal to 1. But for this rating, for the second book and second user, you don't have the rating. So for this case, the R for second book by second user is 0. That means rating is not there. Whereas for this book, our first book by first user, the R value is 1. That means the rating exists. So this will help us to formulate our model clearly. So for that, this R parameter is introduced. And Y is our label. So that is the rating given by the user. So this will exist only if Rij equal to 1. So that means if rating is given for that particular book, then the whatever is rating is given for book I by user J is defined by the parameter Y. So Y represents the label which we want to predict. So all those, the final aim of this recommender system is to find out the values of all these question marks. So what would are the likely recommendations for example, Gone with the Wind by Chitra, if I want to predict, that is what this recommender system will finally able to give to me. So having set the ground, let's move and find out how the content-based recommender work. So as the name suggests, the content-based are based on the product content. So you require information about the features of the product. So in this case, the products are the books. So the content-based recommender would require information about the features of these books. So in the next slide, we'll see that the information about the books is mentioned here. So the information is given in terms of the features of the books. So the features which are defined for the book, for example, again, there can be multiple or n number of features, but the features we are discussing here are some books are romantic and some books are fantasy. So we are just considering two number of features for the sake of this discussion. So these features in our notation, we are describing as x1 and x2. So for this problem, there are only two features. There can be n number of features for a general problem. So having considered the features as x1 and x2, we add one more artificial feature that we learned from the neural network, that is known as the bias feature. So that feature will have the value as x0. So for any book, there will be two features which are characteristic defining that particular book, and x0 is something which is known as a bias feature. So that value is corresponding to our optimization function or the hypothesis function. If you remember, the hypothesis function is defined in terms of theta 0 plus theta 1 x1 plus theta 2 x2 and so on. So the first term is can be written as theta 0 into x0, and this x0 value is always equal to 1. So that is what is considered here. So the feature vector for our recommender would be given as the first is the bias feature, that is always equal to 1, and then the actual features of that particular book. So for example, if you take the first book, so which I'm calling as the X superscript 1, it has got romantic rating, not rating, it is a romantic content of that book is on some scale 0 to 1 is given as 1, and the fantasy content is given as 0. Now who will provide this information or feature information is somebody who is an expert. So this content based recommender would require an external expert who will provide this information. So for this recommender to work, you require for each of the book what is the feature vector for that particular book, which will be defined by the expert. So expert will tell you that Romeo and Juliet book has got no fantasy content, that is its fantasy content value is 0, and romantic content value is highest, that is 1.0. So the feature vector for book 1 is given as 100. Similarly, for other book, that is, let's take Lord of the Rings. So for this book, the romantic content is 0 and the fantasy content is 0.9. So that is some expert who is lover of books has given these ratings. So that is the data that is required. So in addition to the ratings given by the individual users, which the bookshop will have by means of its website, in addition to that, you will require information related to the features of the book. So the features are available in the form of the numbers related to each content type of that particular book. So in this case, the content type is whether it's romantic or whether it's fantasy. So we got the first part, that is a feature vector for each of the book is required, and that is required to be known. So this expert gives us the feature vector for the books. Now what is unknown in this particular case are these theta terms. So the theta terms are in this recommender system is has physical meaning. In our regression problem, we call them as a weight corresponding to each of the feature. In this case, the theta vector is the user preference for a particular feature. So this is also known as parametric vector for each of the users. So each of the user may have preference for certain type of book or certain feature of the product. In this case, certain feature of a book. So for example, the Anand may have more liking for romantic books. So the feature vector for Anand will have a value which is the first term is the bias term theta 0, which is unknown, but the second feature corresponds to the his preference for the romantic books. So since it is apparent that he is giving higher rating for the romantic books, his number here would be higher. So that number could be something like 10 or something. And his preference, since it appears that he is not giving high ratings for fantasy books, so his rating for fantasy may be low. So it may be 1 or some low number. So that is the user parameter vector for Anand. Similarly, for the other users, that is Bina, Chitra, and Dinesh, will have another parameter vectors. So at present, we don't know what are the preferences of the user, and that we want to deduct, infer from the ratings given by these individual users. So in order to get these inferences, we use this unknown. So these theta terms are unknown at the beginning of this model. So we want to, out of these content-based recommenders, we would learn the values of theta j. And how you learn it is by using the formulation. That is, our hypothesis is the predicted rating by each of the user is given by the inner product or the dot product of the user parameter vector, that is a theta vector and x vector. So this hypothesis function is nothing but the rating which is given by a user. So the rating given by the user consists of the products of individual feature and user preference for that feature. So for example, it is theta 1 is the user preference for first feature and x1 is the first features value, and so on. So theta 2 and x2 and so on. So using the rating, using this particular definition of hypothesis function, we can obtain the ratings if we know the content and theta values. So in this case, theta values are not known, but if they are known, we can predict what is the rating for each of the book. So I'll just summarize this slide once again. What we talked here is content-based recommenders. They work on knowledge about features of each of the product. So each of the product, in this case book, has got two features. For example, whether it's romantic book or fantasy book, an expert comes and tells you what is the content of each book. So for each book, you get a feature vector which tells how much romantic content that book has got and how much fantasy content that book has got. And there is one artificial feature, which is the bias feature, which is always 1. So that is to take care of the case where each user is, irrespective of their liking, always give certain minimum rating to that particular book. So that is taken care by this bias term. The second thing, in order to calculate the rating is the unknown which you want to predict, is the user preference for each of the feature. So that is defined in terms of the user parameter vector or the theta vector. If you take dot product of these two vectors, you will get the rating value given by each user for each of the book. So those question mark things which are unknown. So if you know user preference of second user, that is Bina's user profile, user vector, if you know, since we know the second book's feature vector, we can calculate the rating, likely rating by Bina to the second book. So that is how the calculations would be done. So using this expression, we can predict the rating of each of the book. Some of the books ratings are already known to us. So we'll use that information to define our error function. So using this equation where thetas are unknown and x are known, for each of the book, we can predict the rating out of those, all the combinations, some combinations rating is already known. So the rating predicted by our function is given by theta transpose x minus the actual rating given by that particular combination will give us the error for that particular book. If you add all those errors, you will get a total error which we want to try to minimize for this particular function. So that is what is defined in the next slide. Okay, so before we come to the example, let me cover the error term. So in order to find the unknowns, that is the thetas, we define the error function. So we are minimizing the error, which is j theta, which is given in terms of all the predicted values. So these are nothing but the ratings which are predicted. Minus the actual ratings, the whole square. So we are going the square error function. And this summation for all the terms where the R value is 1. So where the rating is known. So for all such terms, we are calculating this error value. And for all the books and all the users, and whatever the term we get, that would be in terms of all the user parameters. So it will be in terms of theta 1, theta 2, theta up to theta nu. So all those unknown terms will be captured in this error term. And by using the gradient descent method that we applied in the linear regression, so this formulation is familiar to us. So this is nothing but our linear regression problem, where the theta values we can calculate by gradient descent method by taking some learning rate and the gradient of this cost function or the error function with respect to each of the theta term. So this problem can be solved by the regular linear regression method. You can find out the theta values, and once theta values are known, then you can predict the rating for any of the book or any of the unknowns which are there. So let's understand this. So assuming that one has solved this problem and obtained both x vector and theta vector, let's illustrate how does it lead us to the rating. So for example, we want to know for the happy ever after book, what would be the rating given by Anand, so which is the first user. So this is the question mark we want to predict. So you have done the optimization and obtained the user vector for the Anand, and the user vector for the Anand is as given here. So it is 0, 5, 1. And for this book, the the book product feature vector is 0.8, 1, and first is a bias term which is always equal to 1. So that is for third book we know the feature vector, and for the first user for the Anand we know he is user parameter vector, which is developed by using the content based recommender algorithm. So having obtained these two vectors, the predicted rating, the unknown, can be calculated by using the dot product of these two vectors. So which is nothing but 1 multiplied by 0 plus 5 multiplied by 0.8 and 1 multiplied by 0.1, which is equal to 4.1. So this model predicts that Anand will give rating of 4.1 or rounded value of 4 to the happily ever after book. So that is how this particular algorithm works. So essentially in this case, so given the feature vector, we are trying to find out the user parameter vector, and the formulation is just a linear regression formulation. So we are writing the rating term in terms of linear combination of the feature vector. So for each book there is a feature vector. So linear combination of this feature vector is gives us for each user its his or her rating value. So for each user there is a, you can imagine for each user you are making a separate linear regression model, and the error of each of these models is minimized through the recommender system. So each for each user has a separate linear regression model using which the ratings given by that user are predicted. So that is in short how the content based recommender works. So let's take one quiz which will just make you understand what we are doing here. So what we discussed just now, based on that. So for the same case, for second book, the feature vector is given, and for user 3, the user profile, user parameter vector is given. So you want to predict what rating Chitra will give for the Gone with the Wind book. So till now I got 3 responses. I'm waiting for some more. Okay, so 5 responses. I think that is the limit that this class has. So I have to learn how to maximize this response time. Okay, so what majority has given? The answer 2 is the correct answer. So what we are looking here is the prediction will be given as theta transpose multiplied by x. So that will be nothing but 1 plus 0, 1 multiplied by 0 plus 0.9 into 0.5 plus 0 into 5. So that would be equal to 0.45. So this is the correct answer. Okay, so we understood that if the features of the book are known, then the user preferences can be predicted based on what ratings they are giving. So that is how this particular content-based recommender works. The collaborative filtering type of recommender works in the opposite way. So it assumes that you are having the user profile known. Later on, we'll see that that is also not required. But to begin with, it is opposite of the content base, where we are assuming that or we are having information about the user profile. So the bookshop by some means is interviewing each of its buyer and finding out whether you like romantic book, whether you like fantasy books, and so on. So some survey they are conducting, based on which they are getting the user profile or the user parameter vector, and based on that, then it does not have to appoint some expert to tell which book is having which feature content. So the X vector, which is known by a human expert in the content-based system, in this case, the features of the book would be predicted, or they would be inferred by this particular algorithm. So based on the user profile, whether the user like romantic books or what, means the theta vector, the user parameter vector, where the theta 1 corresponding to romantic books, the theta 2 corresponding to fantasy books, they are collected by the bookshop. And if after you have collected this information and you uh, get the ratings by each user for certain books, you can infer what would be the feature of each of the book. So you will know without help of any expert whether a book is having a romantic content or the book is having fantasy content, and so on. So that is the way, in essence, the collaborative filtering type of recommender works. The term collaborative comes here because the features of each book which are predicted by this recommender, they are in the sense collaborative effort of all the users. So any new user joins, his or her preferences for certain type of books and the rating given by the book given by that new user will affect the feature vector of the book. So if that person likes a romantic books and a certain books high rating is given by that book, then the romantic feature vector term of that book would increase. So in the sense, each of the user is contributing towards definition of the product content. So that is the way the term collaborative is there, and the filtering simply refers to the selection or the rating which is given by each of the book. So let's look into the collaborative filtering recommender system. So as we said, in this case, the features are unknown and the user profiles by some means, for to begin with, we'll consider that by some means this user vectors are known. Ideally, we would like to work where the user profiles are also not known, book features are also not known, and how to work with that. So we'll come to that in a short while. But at this stage, to understand how this system works, we'll assume that we have collected through surveys the user interest or the user parameter vector is known, and the product feature vector or the feature vector for the each of the book can be obtained by the process which we defined in the content based recommender. So just opposite that, in this case theta, you want to know what are the features of the book. So one aspect of this filtering system is that unlike all other machine learning methods where the feature was supplied as a data set, in this case features are learned by this system. So the X vector, which is a feature vector, is something which is learned by this system or which is inferred by this particular system instead of user preferences. So that is one highlight of this particular or difference of this particular recommender system. So we'll formulate the problem in the exactly same manner, except that instead of finding unknown thetas, here we'll be finding unknown as X. So the way we'll define is we'll learn the features X where the ratings are given by theta transpose X. So this is the prediction minus the actual value will give you error if you square this and sum over all the users and all the books for which ratings are known. So that will give you the error term. So that is what is shown in the next slide. So the error is defined in terms of the square of the difference between prediction and the actual value for all terms for which the rating exists, and it is summed over all the books. And this is the error term, and you minimize this to obtain minimize these X terms, minimize the error term in order to obtain the unknowns, which are the X vector. So with this, we can obtain the value of X vector. So in this case, we have seen that two approaches. One is in which first case, the product features are known. So there are features for product, which we are defining as X bar. And there are users who have got their user parameters, which are nothing but their interest, which we are calling as theta bar. And the ratings which are given by these users are defined in terms of theta transpose into X. So that is how we are defining the problem. So if you know feature vector, one can obtain the parameter vector. So that is a content based recommender. And if you know the user parameters, one can find the features for the product. So the thing which is required is the ratings given for certain amount of books or certain amount of products. So as in real life scenario, one would not have time or resources to either appoint an expert or to survey so many users. So we need to begin in a situation where neither theta is known nor X is known. So how do we go about it? So let's consider, to begin with, somebody assumes some random values of theta. So let's say we are using the collaborative filtering recommender in which you require the values of theta. So having assumed the value of theta, so you'll assume the value of theta. Using this algorithm, that is by minimizing the x term, you can calculate the feature vector. So you'll get some feature vector which is available to you. So this is the learned feature vector, which will not, which is available to you. So now, can one of you tell what could be the next step? So this is not the accurate value of feature vector. The actual feature vector would be something different, because we have started with some assumed value of theta, and we got some rough estimate of x, which is likely to be wrong since we have started with some random theta term. So we assume uh, the first user who likes the romantic books, we have predicted that he likes fantasy books, and we obtained some feature vectors for the books which are incorrect. So there will be inconsistency, and you will get high error terms. High final, after minimization, you will get high error value. So can you think of some strategy by which you can proceed from this point onwards? So we have assumed some random value of theta, and we have got the x values. So this is the collaborative filtering strategy that we have used. So can you suggest how to proceed from this point onwards? So we want to get more accurate values of theta.
Sir, back propagation.
Back propagation. We are here talking about linear regression. Okay, back propagation can be applied, means I cannot. Okay, that could be one possibility. That means you will do inverse and try to find something. I don't know how it will work, but nevertheless, that is not what I'm looking for at this point of time. There is something which is simpler based on what we learned earlier. So remember that the collaborative filtering, it works from user parameters to the product features, and the earlier one, the content base, it works from product to user parameters. So that is the clue which you can use. So we have two algorithms which predicts from user parameter to feature vector, and another one which predicts from feature vector to user parameters. So can you uh, suggest something based on this clue? So we assume some random user vector. We got some rough estimate of feature vector, book feature vector. Now we want to refine our user vector.
Sir, we can pick one user and find out the feature vector, and then by content based using the same feature vector for another user, we can cross check it.
Okay, but why for one user? Means why not for what you says is said is correct, that at this stage we have got the assumed theta vector and the rough estimate of the x vector. That is, this is the user vector and this is the product vector. So at this stage, for all products, we have got their feature vector, and for users also we have got their vectors. Now the user vectors, we know they are wrong, so we want to refine them. So what is the way to obtain user vector from theta vector? You already given that answer. Only you said that for one book.
Sir, no, for not. Sir, we can use for all books. Like check for one user and all the books.
Yeah, that's right. So at this point, we can plug in the content-based filtering. So in the content-based filtering, given x vector, you can calculate the theta vector. So that is what we have seen. So the collaborative filtering goes from user to product, and content-based goes from product to user. So using this rough estimate of the book feature vector, we apply the content-based filtering and you obtain a new estimate for the theta. This is likely to be better because now we have reduced the error from in this first step. In the second step, you are going to further reduce the error. And if you start continuing this particular process, you will reach a term, you will alternate between x theta, and so on. And you will reach at a particular point position where the x terms or theta terms, they are not changing much. That means that at that point we can say that we are reaching the convergence of the solution. So I'll repeat what we talked here. So one strategy which can be applied to solve this chicken and egg problem, where we don't know the theta vector, we don't know x vector at the beginning. So one idea would be assume the theta vector, that is a user parameter vector. Which user likes what, you just assume randomly. Based on that, you predict what is the features of each of the books. So which book is romantic, which book is fantasy, you predict based on that. That is likely to be wrong. In order to further eliminate that error, you apply now. So this is collaborative filtering. Now you use the content-based filtering, the algorithm which we talked at the beginning of the class. So in that case, from X, that is the book features, one can obtain what is the user preferences. So this will be better than our random assumption, because already the error terms we are minimizing in this case. So this will have further smaller error. That means a better refinement in prediction of theta. And you keep on alternating these things. So first you apply collaborative filtering, you get x values, and then you apply the content based filtering, you get the theta vector. So you keep on repeating this in the iterative fashion till the time you reach the convergence. So that is what is the strategy which is known as simplified. This is not very computationally efficient technique, but that is the one which can be taken as a first step. So that if you work with this approach, and if a problem is small enough, you can get a good answer in a certain number of iterations. So that is what is mentioned in this slide. So whatever I talked on the previous slide, that is just mentioned in the text form. So I'm not going through this. A more accurate or more efficient way of handling this problem is define your error term in terms of both theta and x. So in content based, we define the error term in terms of unknowns which are theta, and in collaborative filtering, we define the error term in terms of x. In actual collaborative filtering, you define the error term in terms of both theta and x as the unknown. So you know ratings for certain combinations of user and books. So for each of these known ratings, you find out both theta and x as unknown. So in this case, both the user parameters and the book features, both are taken as unknowns, and you simultaneously find both of them. So you define the error terms in terms of all the theta vectors. That means for each user there will be so for first user you will have theta 0, theta 1, theta 2. So we are considering two features. So this will be number of features into 1, so that size vector. And for first book you will have one x11 and x12. So in that case, all these theta 0, theta 1, theta 2 for first user are unknown, and also for the each of the book, these things are unknown. Of course, the one is known, x11, x12 are unknown. So you consider your error function as unknown of all these terms. So this is for one user. You multiplied by n number of users and k number of books. So many unknown terms you will have. So you define your error terms in terms of all those unknown terms and use gradient descent in order to minimize the error. And you will get in one shot all the values of theta 0 and means all the theta vectors for each of the user and x vector for the each of the book can be obtained simultaneously. Of course, it is computationally heavy as compared to the previous one in the sense you require more memory requirement in this particular algorithm as compared to the previous case where you require you are doing it in small chunks. So there it is it can be faster for smaller problems, and for bigger problems where if you have more computational resources available, then this particular algorithm can be effective where without doing iterations or without doing explicit iteration in the gradient descent you will be doing iterations, you can obtain both the feature vectors and user parameter vectors simultaneously. So that is in short how the collaborative filtering based recommenders algorithm works. So it formulates the problem in terms of linear regression for each book and user combination, and the error which is error in prediction by the model for each of the known ratings is minimized in this particular algorithm with simultaneous obtaining of theta terms and x terms. And there are two approaches. One is what we saw earlier, which is iterative, where you go in each loop you find either theta or x and then proceed by alternating between content based and recommended collaborative filtering based algorithm, or you do it in single shot as in the current slide that we are looking into. So to summarize, the content-based, there are two types of recommender. The first one, content-based. So in this case, you need the product's features. So in the, for example, if it is a book, then what are the features of the book? What type of book that is? That needs to be known. And also you require user ratings. So that is for both cases, this is a must. And you learn the user's decision parameters or interest parameters from the content-based recommender. The collaborative filtering in its most basic form works in the opposite way. So in this case, you need user decision parameter and then you can obtain user product features. But in the most complete form of the collaborative filtering, we use the users, we obtain simultaneously the user's decision parameters and products features given the product user rating product user ratings. So here each user's rating, it affects the product's feature definition, and as soon as you add new user and he or she gives its ratings to the old books or any newly introduced book, that dynamically changes the both thetas and x for this model. So at regular intervals, you need to renew this model. So you add new number of books or you get new number of users. This model would require to get refreshed by using the new ratings that you obtained from for either new books or from new users. So that is in summary how the recommender system works. So hope that when you buy something from Amazon and you get some recommendation, you have some idea as to how that recommendation is coming. So whenever you are buying something or giving rating to some product, it gets utilized for fine tuning the filtering or the recommender system. Okay, so that's all for today. So any questions, if you have, you can ask now.
Sir, For the books example that we saw, can the suggested rating for a book for some particular person exceed the value 5?
No, in the sense that is the input taken by the website. So since it is that option button, you cannot choose more than 5. In the sense, these are discrete values. No, what is the prediction can be more than 5 that you are asking, or the input can be more than 5?
Yes, sir, prediction.
Yeah, prediction could be higher, so that will get treated in your error minimization term. So prediction could be higher. Yes, that is possible. If your model is distorted, then you may get higher rating. Means once you start, yeah. Means you start with some user parameters. So the excess will be adjusted in order to make this ratings as close to 5 as possible. But it is possible that you may get uh, wrong. Means more than 5 is possible. Even negative rating is also possible because it's doing a regression. So you may get something less than 1 or more than 5. That is possible. Okay, any other question? Okay, then we'll stop here for today, and tomorrow we'll have, yeah, Amok.
Sir, but if I get a rating higher than 5, then that will be adjusted in the values of user ratings, like theta values. So theta values will be modified, right?
Yes, means the model will try to make best possible way to match each of the ratings. Means for known ratings, it will try to minimize. Means some known rating is 5. The model will try to predict as close to 5 as possible, but it may not be possible for model to match exact 5.0. So it may predict somewhere near to 5, which can be higher or lower than 5. So that, as you rightly said, the theta term or x term would be adjusted or would be so chosen so as to give the best value for prediction, the closest value of prediction.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll have our last session where we'll be discussing the reinforcement learning. So we'll have just an exposure to what is reinforcement learning and what is the formulation of that problem. Okay, and I have extended the date for the project submission since I thought that the Diwali vacation, I'm not counting towards the project work. So you can have 2-3 days. Some of you have given your first attempt, but you can have second attempt as well. Okay, so thank you all. We'll stop here.
Thank you.